Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to episode 4 of the Southend Dog Training Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Adam, and this is Evan.
Hello.
Today, we don't actually have a guest on. We'll have a guest on next week as usual, so you guys can listen to real world stories. Today, Evan thought it'd be a good idea to talk about me. So those of you that are new to Southend Dog Training, or wondered how we got into dog training and things like that, we're going to talk about my story. So it's going to be a lot of Evan sort of asking me questions and things like that. As always, with anything we do, nothing is ever scripted, guys. So
No, I haven't even thought of the questions yet, so
I know.
we need to do this as we go along today.
Evan was like, right, I'm going to get some questions for you and everything. So I rocked up here to do the podcast. I was like, Evan, you got any questions? And he was like, no. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a cracking start. Okay.
So yeah, this is basically where it all began, where it is now, and where we're heading. Really, where we want to take the company, and what the next steps are. Really, I guess.
Yeah.
And where the steps began.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Well, yeah, essentially. I mean, episode 1, we spoke about you. We introduced you. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people obviously know who I am on the face of Southend Dog Training. That's
Yeah.
what people invest in. That's what people buy into. But not many people understand the journey or what it takes. And we do get a lot of dog trainers message us every day, or people wanting to be dog trainers message us every single day, how to get into dog training and things like that. And the thing about dog training is it's one of those unregulated industries. So anyone can technically be a dog trainer, and this is why there is so many bad dog trainers around, because anyone can be a dog trainer. Literally, you can print off a certificate, hi, I'm a dog trainer, and things like that.
Yeah, I call them the cereal box trainers.
And then you got the ones on the other end of the scale that have done a lot of studying and courses and things, and their paper isn't really worth much because, again,
There's no practicality there.
no. But some of these often do make up the worst dog trainers and things like that. So let's get into the Southend Dog Training journey. So.
Yeah. So where did it all? I'll tell you what. Let's go right back. What did you do before dog training?
Okay. So a lot of people are shocked by this, right?
Yeah.
What I did before dog training was
Got to be busboy.
a busboy. What is a busboy?
Not sure.
Is that a dishwasher man?
No, busboy. Can't remember now. I've heard of it though.
I swear that's a dishwasher man.
That's going to make a brilliant part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, guys, if anybody knows what a busboy is, just comment down below if you're watching this on social
T-boy.
media.
He was definitely a T-boy. I'm sure of it.
No, what my first proper job before I got into dog training was I was a croupier in a casino. Yeah, I was dealing blackjack, I was dealing roulette, poker, things like that.
Right.
It was great fun. I mean, it suited me at the time. I was very much a night owl. Like these days, I freaking go to bed at 10 o'clock. But
Late.
I know. I live life on the edge. I said to her last night. I said to my wife last night. I was like, "Should we go to bed?" She was like, "It's 10:15." I'm like, "Yeah, come on."
Well, where I've got the young baby at the moment, I'm sort of, well, it's 7:30 now, let's go to bed, but it is a perfect time for me to work on the website. Yeah, while those two sleep, that's me at the moment.
So I was a night owl, so it suited me down to the ground. A job that I could start late, I could sleep all day. That was pretty much what I did. That's how I spent my teenage years, up all night, sleeping all day. So yeah, I was a croupier, and I worked at the Rendezvous Casino, and I was a little bit disheartened to actually find that the Rendezvous Casino is actually no more. It's actually
It's gone.
yeah, COVID killed it. So that it was a kind of bittersweet, to be fair, because I was like, I hated working in the casino.
Well, they took a gamble and they lost, didn't they?
I see what
Sorry.
you did there. Oh, come on, Evan. We've got to have better jokes than this, mate.
Right.
Better jokes.
Right.
Yeah, so it was because I hated working in the casino. It was so depressing. You'd have all the fucking idiots come in going, winner, winner, chicken dinner, and they'll go, hit me, and I'm like, please don't tempt me, and yeah, they'd watch like freaking Ocean's 11, or they'd watch a couple of casino films, and they would come in, and yeah, it was just a horrible sort of industry to work in. The money was shit, and because of the economy and the way it was, even before COVID, there was no real room for progression there. But it did pay better than your average 9-to-5 job, so I was stuck for a long, long time, and I was really getting depressed because I was going to this job that I couldn't stand anymore, and I had no qualifications, so I couldn't get any sort of decent paying job. I had bad credit, so I couldn't get a job in a bank because I kept failing credit checks. Apparently, you need a decent credit check to work in a bank, and so any job that matched the wages I was on at the casino, I wasn't qualified to do. So it's either literally stock shelves or work in a factory or continue doing a job that I was miserable in. And this is how my dog training journey actually began.
Okay.
Yeah, because me and the wife were there. We weren't married at the time. We're married now, but we weren't married at the time. And we was talking about getting a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd had dogs all my life. I'd always loved dogs. Always, still to this day, say I prefer dogs to people. Yeah, because what you see is what you get. Dogs are honest. Dogs are pure. Yeah, they don't lie about things. If it's scared, you know it's scared. If it's aggressive, it doesn't hide it. Yeah. If it's in pain, you know it's in pain. Things like that. They don't sugarcoat things. What you see is what you get. If you suit their needs, they're loyal to a T. So we decided to get a dog.
What dog did you get?
We actually got. This is also why I'm so outspoken about backyard breeders. Right. Because we didn't know, we were young and naive at the time. We'd had dogs all our life, but they were family dogs. Yeah. We never really paid attention to where the dog come from or things like that. Still to this day, I couldn't tell you where the family dogs come from. I've never actually really asked about it. But so we went on to Gumtree and we're looking for puppies, and we found these Staffy cross puppies, 250 quid. I was like, bargain. Phone up the bloke, can we go and see him? In hindsight, all the red flags were there. Yeah, all of the red flags were there. Parents weren't available to be seen. All these puppies were crammed into a tiny crate. Yeah, they were telling us this lavish story about them and things like that. But we were blinded by love. We were young and naive. We didn't know what a decent breeder was. Like I said, we were very young. This was before I even really got into dog training. So we got Jess, and I started getting into dog training. Started studying dog psychology. I wanted to learn everything. I've got a very addictive personality, so I wanted to learn everything. Started talking to other trainers and things like that, and just started doing as much studying as I could. And we had Jess. She was 16 weeks, and we was over the park with her, and she was playing again, making all the mistakes, taking her to the park every day, letting her run around with dogs, over socialising her massively. And she was playing like any other day, and on the way back she just collapsed, and I was like, shit, this isn't right, what's going on? So I thought maybe she's overdone it. Young pup, 16 weeks, maybe I did too much with her. So, but no, something was actually seriously wrong. So we actually, I rushed her down. There's a little lake where we was. Rushed her down, thought maybe she needs a drink and things like that. But as I picked her up, literally blood was coming out of her mouth. Something inside her sort of burst. So we rushed her to the vets, and she died in my arms on the way to the vets. And when I got to the vets, they said there was nothing that anyone could have done. It's something that she was born with. Yeah, it was just one of those things. And I remember going back to my wife and saying, she was asleep because again we was both working nights at the time, and she was a radio operator for a taxi company, and I was working in the casino, so she was sleeping in preparation for her night shift, and I'm covered in blood, and I'm like, Jess is gone. She's like, what do you mean Jess is gone? You're joking? I was like, no, Jess is gone. Yeah, and it was absolutely mortifying. So she didn't want to get another dog, but I couldn't bear not having that. I mean, anybody that's lost a dog will be able to contest to this, that moment, whether or not you've had the dog 2 weeks or you've had the dog 10 years, that moment where all of a sudden you open a door, the dog comes running, and one day you open a door and there's no dog there to come running. It's the little things that bring joy, the little things that make dogs special. You don't get that with cats.
No.
I mean, a dog, you can go to the shop, be gone 5 minutes, come back, that dog's happy to see you, and you'll be gone 5 hours and come back, and that dog is still happy to see you. Yeah, I mean, I'll go to the car sometimes and come back, and my dogs are happy to see me. We're like, dude, I just went outside to the car. Yeah, and so I needed not to replace Jess, but to get on with it. But of course, there was no way I was going to do the puppy thing again, not without actually doing more research. So we actually got Sammy. This is where Sammy come from. She was 16 months old. And I was just on Facebook and things, just looking for dogs, looking for at rescue pages and things like that. And I stumbled across Sammy, and I started talking to the lady, and she was like, "Oh yeah, do you want to come and see her?" So me and the wife drove all the way down to Whittam, and we went and saw Sammy. She was apparently kept getting into a fight with the other dog in the house and everything, but she was living with 5 children. The only thing I cared about was that she was out of the puppy stage, so I didn't have to worry about anything happening like that again, and that she was good with children. No, any other issues we could work on, lead pulling, recall, reactivity problems, as long as she was good with children and out of that puppy stage, that was my only criteria. So we got Sammy. She was approximately 16 months. When we went there was just this white staffy, and it was just bouncing off the walls all over the place. And I could see that there was a lot of problems here. Like, she wasn't being exercised properly. They were left to their own devices. But I was like, "Yep, come on, let's get Sammy." So we literally put Sammy's lead on. I think it was a chain lead that we had with her. Took her out, nearly pulled my arm off. She just opened the car door. She got straight in the car, and that was it. Drove all the way back, and we got back to Southend about 9:15 at night, and she was literally, it was pissing down with rain, but I was like, right, I need to get some of this energy out of you first, and I need to start building a relationship with you. So got a slip lead out, started making sure she walked properly, walking through the park, me and her are soaking wet, and I felt like that was a deep bonding experience for us. And brought her back, and yeah, that was it. Again, making a lot of mistakes that I didn't really know. I was like, right, we're not going to let her have access to the whole house. We put stair gates up in places. I went to the wife, "Do you want a cup of coffee?" We put the stair gate up in the front room, left Sammy in the front room, put the kettle on, turned around, Sammy's down there. I'm like, okay, that lasted long. I can jump straight over the stair gate and come in. I was like, all right, we're not going to let her sleep in the bed.
Straight in the bed.
Go to bed. 4 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck is this on the end of my bed? Sammy's on the end of the bed. Of course, we cut all that stuff out now. I have no issue with dogs in the bed, but when we ended up getting Daisy, a Rottweiler, it wasn't going to be practical. You can't have one dog sleeping in the bed and not let the other sleep in the bed, and having a Rottweiler, having like a 50-kilo Rottweiler, it's sort of so it's not fair. So we did cut that shit out eventually. But now things were serious. I didn't have a puppy to mould. I had a dog that had no recall. I had a dog that basically didn't know how to walk on the lead properly. I had a dog that wasn't scared to engage if a dog was barking at her. That was one of her bugbears. She couldn't stand a dog barking at her in typical Staffy fashion. She may not necessarily start a fight, but she wasn't quick to back down from a fight. So, got straight to training, doing more studying, more getting into dog training, and I just used to take her over the field. I was so fascinated by dog training. Yeah, I mean, it was still to this point, it was never my intention to actually be a dog trainer. I didn't even know that you could actually really make a decent living off of being a dog trainer.
No, a few people have said to me, obviously I'm quitting my job. They said, "Are you actually going to earn enough money?" You know,
dude, I'm going to earn some and then some. So so I was just over there, and one day this bloke come over to me and approached me. He had this Labradoodle. His name was Glenn, and I still remember him because he was my first ever client. And he was just I used to create this audience in the park. I'd have Sammy like in a down, I'd walk the other side of the field, and people would just stop and start staring. I used to put her in a down and just disappear out of sight quickly, come back. And they were just amazed at how well behaved she was. I'd walk down the seafront with her, and all of a sudden I'd drop her into a down and keep walking, and you see loads of people stopping like, what's actually happening here? So I kept building up this little audience of people watching me train Sammy, and this bloke eventually come and approached me, and he had this Labradoodle. He went, "Is it alright if I come over?" I went, "Yeah, absolutely." Put Sammy in a down. His dog's up pulling him all over the place, this Labradoodle.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'd love to get my dog to that level." He said, "Where'd you take her training?" I said, "I do it all myself, mate." I said, I've been studying this, I've been learning everything, I've been taking advice from people, just studying, learning everything I can about every single dog breed, the ins and outs of everything. And he's like, "Do you want to train my dog?" So,
not really, maybe.
So So I said just in jest, I was like, yeah, if you want, mate. Like, it's pretty straightforward stuff. You just have to look at it as it's a dog and not a baby. So he's like, can I take your contact number? So I gave him my contact number, and I lived about 30 seconds away from the park. By the time we'd parted ways and I'd got home, I had a voicemail message from this Glenn to go, hi mate, I spoke to you in the park, I'm the one with a nutty Labradoodle. You said you'd be interested in training my dog. So I looked at my wife, I was like, what am I meant to do? I was like, I can't fucking train this dog. I said, I'm not a dog trainer. I said, I'm studying, I'm learning. I said, but I'm not yet actually able to. But she's like, did you say you would? I said, yeah, in jest. She's like, well, give him a call. Right?
See what happens.
Yeah, so I went to. I honoured my word. I kept my word. I went round that, and this was just a typical Labradoodle, jumping up, mouthing, stealing things, and boy, did he make me work. Yeah, I mean, height of adolescence. Well, we just hit adolescence, not height of adolescence, just hit adolescence, and I got him to do everything that I wanted him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the bloke was like speechless. He's like, I can't believe you're getting him to do all of this and you're saying next to nothing to him. It was all basically silent work. And he went, how much do I owe you? I was like, 20 quid. That's like the result. So he gave me 20 quid. And I walked out of there and I remember thinking, could I actually make a living doing this properly? Like, I want to learn about it, and I am learning about it, and I'm studying. But that's simply because I need to know everything. If I've got a dog, it needs to be the best behaved dog. Yeah. When I drive, I want to be the best driver, and I want to be the best at everything. If I play football, I want to be the best at football. Yeah. I don't like to lose. I like to know everything. So for me, I was just studying to learn. Yeah. And make sure that I had the best behaved dog that I could take anywhere with me. I could take to friends' houses. I could take to restaurants where dogs were permitted. I didn't have to worry about her scaring people or running over to other dogs. Yeah, it was just basically.
So, you just wanted a normal dog.
Yeah, pretty much. So he recommended me to a friend who had 4 beagles. I was like, they're throwing the fucking hard dogs at me here. So these 4 beagles were nutty. They were like, the lady would take them to the park, let them off the lead. All 4 of them would run off in different directions, doing a good old-fashioned beagle howl. All dogs are being terrorised. She's typical. It's okay, they're friendly, don't worry.
Standard, yeah.
And I'm like, okay then. All of them pulled. They all had their different issues. So we got all of them sorted. We had them all walking within one session nicely on a lead. She could walk 2 at a time, and then after a week she could walk all 4 of them together. Then we did a follow-up session to work on the recall, and now those dogs are doing fantastic. To be fair, I don't think many of them will still be around now because some of them were older, and we're going back like
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years I've been doing this now. So and that's when I made a Facebook page.
Just made a Facebook page. Thought that's it. We can do this. Train 5 dogs.
Yeah, so
let's see how we get on.
Yeah, so it turned out I had quite a knack to it. So I was started working with another dog trainer who I'm not going to name because we didn't end on the best terms. Right. So I remember being out of my dogs and this dog trainer come over and approached me. I didn't know he was a dog trainer. He just come over. He went, "Are you a dog trainer?" I said, "I'm getting into it." He went, "Do you want to do something together?" He said, "I've been watching you now for a few days." He sounded like a bit of a crazy stalker. I was like,
"Oh,"
and I was like, "Wow, this is amazing! A dog trainer's approached me. Like, I'm going to start working with a dog trainer. I'm going to be gaining first-hand experience, and so I was excited about the prospect of doing it." And we started running group classes together. And this with my little Facebook page that I created saying that I'm getting into dog training. I was super cheap, man. I don't think there was anyone cheaper than me.
No.
Yeah, I mean, great business. EFOS is go in there, undercut your fucking... undercut everyone in the industry to get your foot in the door. But if you're going to do that, you also have to be good at it, because it's no point being cheap and shit.
Yeah, there's no point being cheap and cheerful. You've got to be cheap and on point still.
But I had a question today on Instagram, actually. Somebody's getting into dog training, and they asked me if they was to work 4 hours a day, 6 days a week, would that be enough for them to make a living? I said, as for a first time dog trainer just starting out, no, it won't. No. Yeah, you're not going to be able to charge enough money to work them hours. No. Yeah, I mean, for instance, I was working fucking 7 days a week when I started, mainly because I was super cheap. I had to keep doing it, but yeah, I was like, I said, if you're an experienced dog trainer, that has a really good reputation, then yeah, you could easily do 6 days a week, 4 hours a day, and fucking make a mint. But not as a first-time dog trainer, because you need to be cheap. So yeah, so I made this Facebook page, started just doing like little clips of me training Sammy, and just talking about dogs, just giving out, look, same pretty much what I do now on TikTok, just giving out little bits, snippets and advice. And it started copping some interest, and of course I was that person at the time that spammed groups. So I was spamming all the Rottweiler groups and things like this. And people were going, oh my god, he's so cheap and he makes so much sense. Would you come and train my dog?
Mm.
So I did. So I started doing that. And for about a year, I worked with nothing but Rottweilers. I become the guy that could fix aggressive Rottweilers. Right. Yeah, ones that had been to all these high-end dog trainers. Ones that had one person I worked with had spent thousands on a dog trainer. And here I am charging her fucking 40 quid. Yeah.
And she's gone, 40 quid, thousands of pounds gone.
Yeah, so we're working with them. But of course, because of social media, I mean, it's so easy these days to build a business, really.
Yeah.
Given the platforms available to us. Yeah. So what was happening was people that were in these Rottweiler groups, they were going, oh, I had a dog trainer today to help me with my troublesome mutt. Then people commenting going, oh, let us know how you get on because my dog's like this. And then, of course, you'll go on there later, go, so the dog trainer's been round, absolutely amazing. And then people go, oh, can I have his details? And next thing you know, for the next year, I was working with nothing but Rottweilers. And I credit Rottweilers, the breed of Rottweilers. And when people ask why I love Rottweilers so much, I say it's because I actually owe a lot to them. They taught me more about dogs than any textbook I did, any module that I did, any freaking trainer I worked with. Working with Rottweilers taught me more about dogs than anything you could ever do. Right, so, and yeah, once you come face to face with a Rottweiler that wants to fuck you up, then you know whether or not you want to be a dog trainer or not. I mean, it's that simple. A lot of people want to be a dog trainer. They think, oh, this is great playing with dogs. I'm like, yeah, go lock yourself in a cage.
I think most people's thought of, I want to be a dog trainer, is sitting in puppy daycare with puppies jumping all over them, playing, they're throwing them treats and they're rolling all around.
No, they're fairy tale dog trainers. They're
that's what I'm saying. That's
yeah. But they're the ones that fuck up the dogs, and then they come to me, and so. Yeah, I mean, you don't know whether or not you're going to be a decent dog trainer until you come face to face with a dog that wants to fuck you up. Yeah, and and then what happened was, because I've always just liked to record things and stuff like that, then what would happen is people would start going, oh, I see you work with Rottweilers, do you work with other breeds of dogs? I'm like, yeah, I do. So I started working with all different breeds of dogs, and that's pretty much how it stemmed. Now, this dog trainer I was working with, trying to gain more experience and knowledge, what was happening was he was very old school. So he was sort of army dog trainer turned behaviourist and things like this, and he was very old school. I mean, if to get a dog to an emergency stop, he'd throw a choke chain at it. Right. Yeah, if a dog was doing something wrong, he'd douse water in its face, go leave it. And people were coming over on my recommendation because we were working together, and they weren't coming back because they didn't like him. And as soon as we parted ways, they all started messaging me going, oh, I see you're not working with so-and-so anymore. Do you, will you consider training my dog? And I even had his clients, when we parted ways, coming over to me because they were coming, like they said, they were coming because they wanted to, obviously, because they were buying into me, they liked the way I was handling dogs and things like that. So that, but they didn't like that sort of way over the top method.
Yeah. I think I've actually skipped a bit. I know we have, because obviously you were still at the casino at the time, and you had this guy suddenly ask you to train a dog, but it wasn't as simple as leave the casino, was it? You had to sort of cut down your hours initially, and then they forced your hand.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, there's always going to be bits skipped. I mean, I'll try
trying to squeeze all this into a podcast, but no, I think that bit is quite interesting.
Okay. So basically, when I first got into dog training, obviously, I'm a nobody. Yeah. So I'm surviving on word of mouth and just social media at this stage. So I was working at the casino. This is how I come about leaving the casino. Obviously, we mentioned the casino earlier, but so I was doing 4 nights a week, I believe, at the casino. 4 10-hour shifts a week at the casino, and then I was doing training dogs in what little spare time I had. But it was becoming too much. You're doing 4 night shifts, then you're waking up in the morning, training dogs. So I asked to cut down to 3 nights a week, which they were like, "Yep, that's fine." So that gave me an extra day.
Yeah.
But as word was getting out about this cheap trainer that actually knows what he's doing, I was getting more and more work, and I couldn't do both. So I then asked again if I could cut down to 2 nights a week, and they said, "No, we can't afford to lose any more staff at this stage." I said, "So what are you saying to me?" They said, "Well, we can't let you cut down to 2 nights a week." I said, "So basically, if I either do 3 nights a week or none."
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, we don't want to say that, but pretty much." I went, "All right, then I quit." And I swear to God, probably, apart from Grace fracturing her elbow,
most nervous-wracking thing ever. It's got to be.
I felt sick. Honestly sick. Right? Dog training was going well. Building up this little reputation.
Yeah.
Work's coming in. But I wasn't ready to quit my job. Yeah? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah,
there's a difference. When you become... I mean, anybody that has gone from the transition of being employed by someone, getting paid
holiday,
monthly...
you get paid absolutely everything.
You know, at the 28th, 30th of the month, or whenever it is you get... You know, each week without fail, you're getting a paycheck.
Yeah, that's it. And you know what it is as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's very stable.
So when I said I quit, I remember walking out. I didn't even finish my shift. That was it. I was done. Got my stuff and left. I'm thinking, how am I going to tell my wife?
She's going to go, "What's for dinner tonight?" Don't know.
We had a baby on the way as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But you have to take risks in life, don't you? You can't just, you know, if you...
Actually, no, we didn't. No, we didn't. No,
you didn't have a baby on the way.
No, we didn't. I'm going to take my jacket off.
Oh, dear.
Boob flash. For those of you watching visually.
Adult content time.
Yeah, so... It's getting warm in here. So, yeah, that's basically...
It's the emotion. It's all coming out now.
Yeah, so it was extremely stressful to not have that. And then all of a sudden have to rely on being self-employed. But it turns out it was actually the best thing I ever did. Yeah, because it didn't start to quiet down. It just went from strength to strength to strength.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how we got to where we were. So we parted ways with that other dog trainer. We started making waves.
And just carried on from there. And
yeah.
then, obviously, I know this has been said before, but you know, you built your social media following, and you've done that by basically before and after clips as such. Which is obviously a fantastic way of doing it. It generates interest. I mean, that goes without saying. And then, you had to take it to the next level at some stage. You kind of had to, business had to expand a bit more, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, for a long time, what was happening was I was working 6-7 days a week.
Yeah.
In the beginning, when I was training dogs, I was maybe too generous in a sense, because I was literally up. I'd get home, I'd be on my phone all night.
Yeah.
And it was causing friction between me and Rachel, so I had to stop that. I had to make a cut-off point. Right, 7 o'clock at night, my phone goes on the side. That's it. But what I found was, by giving out free content and things like that, which I still do to this day, I don't think there's another dog trainer.
It's kind of the ethos, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't... Literally, I get people message me, go, "Dude, you're a credit for the amount of content you put out there." And somebody asked me the other day, do I not worry about putting out free content and obviously not getting work? And I'm like, no, on the contrary, because what it is, what people are watching is like a 59-second, effectively a 59-second quick tip. Yeah. Or they're watching a segment from a home visit. And they can try that and go, "Oh my God, that actually really worked. So now I need to invest more in this person." Or they can go, "Oh, this isn't really working for my dog," and that's when I say, "Yeah, that's because obviously the clip that you're watching is tailored to dogs that I'm working with in the videos. The advice I'm giving is to the person that I'm talking to in front of me. It's not the advice I'm giving to everyone online. So what works for one may not necessarily work for the others, but then obviously they want to come back to me because they can see the success that we're having, and it's because of that. So we was doing that for a long time. Every year I'd put my money up a little bit more, the wages and everything.
Yeah, and you can do that. I mean, you wouldn't pay a new builder or a new plasterer or something top money to come and do your house straight away. You'd go, well, what works you got? Where's your portfolio? And you go, you haven't got one, and you take that risk from a new trainer.
A lot of people think being a dog trainer is glamorous, and it is eventually. If you know what you're doing, yes. If you've built up that reputation, if you know what you're doing, it is a very, very lucrative business that you can be in. I mean, it's unlimited amount of money you can earn.
Yeah, well, there's dogs everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're always going to need a dog trainer.
Yeah.
So dog trainers are one of those businesses that will never ever really die out because you always need it. And that's why you're seeing more and more people crop up wanting to be a dog trainer.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to stand apart from it. You have to be good at it. The reality is, a lot of trainers out there, we end up clearing up after. And this isn't. I don't want this to get into sort of a bashing. Nothing like that. But it is. A lot of people come to us because we are open-minded. So we do use pretty much every sort of tool known to man. If it's the right tool for that dog, we'll use it. We have an open toolbox. Yeah, we use all 4 quadrants of operant conditioning, and there's a lot of trainers out there that refuse to use certain tools, refuse to use certain methodologies. So when their methods eventually hit a brick wall, then people come to us. So there's a lot of people out there that don't get to the top level of being a dog trainer because they are limited themselves. They don't have the people skills, or they simply don't know how to sort of get that information out there. In 2020, I still find it baffling that dog trainers aren't filming every single fucking thing they do.
No, it's phenomenal. I had someone comment about Southend dog training the other day, actually, saying that it's not really like a... We're almost sort of behavioural specialists in a sense. We do take on the dogs that are fucked up, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But we don't just teach them sit and, that's it. And we can do sit in a tested environment, so to speak. We will do sit around fucking dogs that are aggressive towards them and make them well, not make them, but teach them to be calm and
well, I mean,
teach them in all environments.
We didn't actually talk a great deal about Sammy, to be fair, or even Daisy, or even Roxy, how they came about. But for instance, one of the things I had to do that separated me from a lot of trainers at the time was I actually used dogs to help other dogs. Still to this day, when I talk to someone and they tell me they've had a previous trainer and I'm there because their dog is reactive towards other dogs, I'm like, did the trainer bring a dog? I'm like, no. I'm like, well, how the fuck did the trainer expect to actually make a proper assessment? Did you go stalking people? Well, come on, let's go find a dog.
I actually know what they done. They brought along a stuffed dog. 100%.
No, again, I wish that was made up. I do. I wish that was a made up comment, but it's really not. But yeah, so this is the thing. Yeah, what also set me apart was I was using dogs. Now there are a lot of trainers out there like that that do use dogs, and it's generally more the people that are balanced dog trainers. The purely positive ones generally don't use dogs that often, and there are some that do. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I was using Sammy, and one of the things I had to teach Sammy was down means down. Even if a dog's like 5 feet away from you trying to attack you, you stay there, you chill out and things. I built up that patience and that tolerance level in her.
Yeah.
And everything over time. But if you want to get into dog training, you have to utilise social media. You do, because it's that platform. I mean, years ago you'd have to build flyers, business cards.
Oh, there's newspapers, local shops, and the trouble is businesses were quite local at the time. To get national coverage was to be in the news, sort of.
Yeah,
not even the news, but
when you've got trainers out there talking the talk, I can do this, I can fix any problem, and then you go on their page, you're like, well, where's your fucking evidence?
Well, that takes us on to trolls actually a little bit. We always like to do a small segment on trolls. You do. I mean, I see it on your TikTok and you go, oh yeah, your method's absolutely shit, and I don't agree with you. I think you're a twat. You look on their profile, and it's nothing. It's a fake profile, or it's a hidden profile, or they say, "Oh, I'm a professional dog trainer," and you go on there and you go, "You actually work for a construction company."
The funny thing is, on Instagram or TikTok, if somebody goes, "I'm a dog trainer," and everything you're saying is complete bullshit, you click on there, and their profile's private.
Yeah.
What dog trainer in their right mind has a private profile?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's questionable.
You'll find the ones that actually disagree with everything you say and do, or the ones that talk about how bad prong collars are, how bad e-collars are, how bad choke chains are, things like that. When you go on their page, right, if they've got a Facebook page, which they can't set to private, it's a public page, right, you'll find all they do is tell you what not to do, what not to do, what not to do.
There's no evidence.
There's no evidence. And in 2020, there really is no excuse for not being able to pick that up. My phone's here, right? All I have to do is this.
And it's recording.
And I'm recording. Look, let's take a selfie during a podcast. Yeah, that's how easy it is. Right, there we go. Shameless. What the fuck happened to my hair? Shameless selfie.
I didn't want to tell him. I was going to let him know at the end.
I don't think it stands out as well.
He's got an odd quiff for anyone that's not. He's got a single hairline quiff coming up. I didn't want to mention it.
Yeah, no. Jesus, what's going on there?
Thought it might make the viewing a bit more entertaining.
Awesome. Southend dog training has a mullet. So, yeah, so, I mean, it's so easy. And then you get the excuses. Oh, I have to keep an eye on my clients. I'm like, can you not do that through a camera lens?
Yeah.
I can see you. That's
not
how
even that. Can you not hold your hand out, not really pay attention to what you're filming, you know, because you know what your direction your hand's pointing in.
I mean, I will, when it comes to filming stuff, in the beginning, I will film the dog upon assessment. So I hold the camera. Yeah? Then, while I'm handling the client's dog, I'm like, do you mind just filming this? Yeah? If you've got, always ask permission, do you mind just filming this? And it's good because not only that, they can look back at it.
Yeah, yeah. That's my biggest regret. When Adam first came to see myself, I didn't film Teddy. I didn't film what it was like over the park, what it was like with other dogs. And I really, really wish I had, because I'd love to show the transformation of that dog.
There's lots of dogs over the years that I haven't filmed that I wish I had filmed. And that's what I mean. The amount of content we post, yet there's still...
There's probably about 70% of it we haven't filmed.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I don't film everything I do because, well, in the beginning I did, but these days, if it's a very sort of basic run-of-the-mill case, I won't film it because I've got that hundreds and hundreds of times on social media already. Now, these days, I focus on little snippets more than full videos like I used to do, because you can go on my YouTube back to 2015, 2016, I've got 20, 25, 30-minute videos of me training dogs, and then... I would add clever editing in it to show what the dog was not clever editing to sort of trick.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah. When I say clever editing, what I mean is so people could keep up to date with the process, right? I would have a little segment that said previously, and I'd put like the previous episode in there so you can see what the dog was like, as like what TV shows do, so you can be reminded of what the dog's like. Because often when you'd watched episode 2. If you're watching that first and not episode 1, you go, well, this dog isn't bad, so I'd always like to do a previously thing. But these days, because I've pretty much got a video on every subject known to man, these days I focus more on sort of giving just 1-minute tips and advice, like want more focus from your dog. Simply wait for eye contact before you give them the fun things. Yeah, you want more engagement from your dog, hand feed them, work on the art of attention. Yeah, so it's just little 1-minute clips that can help you. So that's what we focus on more these days. But it makes no sense to not actually utilise social media. So over the years, each year...
So you built up the clientele.
Building up the clientele. We went into doing dog training classes and things like that. And then it was sort of time to take it to the next level. This sort of brings us up to present day. I mean, there will be a lot that I've left out of this, don't get me wrong. I mean... Trying to remember 8 years from start to finish is actually very...
And trying to cram this into an hour as well. But yeah, present day, well, as most of you know, I mean, I met Adam June 2019, there or thereabouts, when I called him out.
That? I don't even remember when I met you.
Just a bit of a weird one in the head.
Anyway. Do you have posters of me in your bedroom?
This is our photo of our first moment.
Oh my god, this is our first time we went to the pub together. The first time we
that was a little bit later. That was about November.
You got a fucking shrine, haven't you, dude?
No, so anyway, we met about when I first called Adam out to help me.
3 p.m, June 19th, 2000.
No, I was working. It was about 11 a.m. because it's before my lunch. Anyway, yeah, Adam come along and just said, yeah, no, your dog's not mental. You don't have to get rid of it. So that's what I wanted to hear. So I was content with that assessment. Anyway, we've done Teddy's story before, so we don't need to.
If you want to know Teddy's story and Evan's story, that's episode 1.
Episode 1. Yeah.
Also, episode 1 is still my favourite episode of all time because it does talk about trolls, how to deal with trolls, the mindset of trolls, and we tell Evan's story. Episode 2 and 3 we had guests on, and episode 5 we're going to have a guest on to talk about their stories. This one is just more people wanting to get to know me a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
so and the business.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is Evan reached out and approached me. I didn't actually have a website. Did you know you can be a completely successful dog trainer, recognised in multiple countries worldwide, and still not have a website?
Yeah, and I was shocked. 21st century, obviously my background's computers. And I said, I sort of said to Adam, I called him over one night. I said, look, I've got a business idea. I think we can take things to the next level. So he can't come around and that. And Adam was a bit disengaged with it, I think is the best way to put it. Because I don't think he felt it could get to where it is now. Or even where it's going.
I mean, for me, I was making money and living quite comfortably.
Without a website?
Yeah. And each year, on paper, when you look at the tax and everything like that, what they called? Freaking...
your annual returns, whatever you want to
call it. Obviously, your self-assessments. When you look at them and you see, like, right, year 1, company made this much, year 2, company made... It was growing. So, to me... We're ahead. We were ahead.
You're on track.
Yeah.
So this is what you wanted. You're on track. But I saw something that Adam hadn't seen, and I've spoken to Adam. Said, I was quite impressed with his at the time 50,000 followers on Facebook. Yeah, I thought it was like a rock star sort of thing. But I said there's a lot of people that's missing out on everything because when you're a one-man band based in Essex, you can't travel the world and help people. So I said, why don't we help everyone? We'll build a website and we'll charge people a small fee, and it is still a very small fee in comparison to other online training, places. And basically we'll just charge people to view the website, and we'll give them as much help as they want online. Sort of December 2019, I built a website in about 2 weeks, and sort of just threw it up there, and we went, well, let's see what happens.
Yeah. So, I mean, to be fair, it was more the fact that I felt like we was kind of doing it anyway, but not actually making money in a sense from doing it, or it was, I mean, it was posting videos, content and advice out to actually help people. But what we did was we made it more personal. Yeah. A troll-free, judgment-free zone.
It's a community.
So our website, southenddogtraining.co.uk, we created this online dog training forum where people can come and join, and they get tailored help. The admins now learn who the people are. You can send in videos.
Best example of that was a dog that was a bit nervous in the crate, and someone else offered to actually help with the advice, but the admins had to step in and say, it's not always just this. You do need to look at the whole picture. So you do get personal advice, whereas obviously on a Facebook forum, anything like that, you will get the generic answer.
Yeah. And of course the problem with sort of like Facebook groups and things like that, which is probably the worst place to ask for help and advice, is everyone thinks they're a dog trainer. So you're going to get people that will go, for instance, I did a video the other day because somebody asked for advice on a Facebook group for a puppy biting, and they were told to pin the dog down. You've got to pin the dog down.
I read one where they said, bite the ear until it yelps.
Yeah. So this is the problem with asking, and I even get it to this day on my TikTok. Somebody will ask me a question, and you'll get some fucking armchair dog trainer go, well, if you do this, and I'm like,
they haven't asked you.
Fuck off. Like, where did you come from? Like, it's Nikki fucking all over again. Right, there we go. That's 4 episodes in. Mentioned her at least once in each one. Lady's a cunt. But, yeah, so having a group that was controlled at that little community was game-changing. Yeah? And we've got, how many members we've got now?
It's got 1,200 members at the moment.
Yeah.
It's increasing by, it's on average about 20 a day.
I mean, timing
rate.
works well, don't get me wrong. I mean, guys, if you want to start an online business, just wait till a national pandemic hits when nobody can... Wait till a global pandemic hits when
everyone's
you can't actually go into people's homes and people realise that they need to train their dogs still.
Because they got a puppy during the the COVID puppy, bit.
Yeah.
Everyone got dogs, and then they went, "Oh my god, my dog's a little bastard." And you go, "Well, what do you do?" We might need to train it.
Yeah, so that's effectively
that's probably helped us somewhat, but also it is the amount of attention to detail what we give everything. I mean, I'm finishing my job on Friday, or today, the day this is released. I'm finishing my job today. So we are going through, we're refilming all the content, we're uploading everything, we're constantly improving it. Also, what should be released today is for any of our online members, we're going to, basically they can plot out where they are on a map. And essentially, if they want to organise local pack walks with like-minded people, then they can do that. So they'll be able to contact each other should they wish to, and basically organise it. So it is a real community we are building.
It is. I mean, there's people meeting up and things like that, but it's the help. We're getting daily messages and things. So the post you put on Facebook yesterday,
it's just constant. We get so many a day, and it's not like I pick and choose which ones to put. I just we can't spam
what it's
everything.
done was the online training side of it has taken Southend dog training, because I would travel anywhere within England as long as the petrol and costs and it was worth our time. We'd go anywhere. I mean, the furthest we travelled to help someone was Newcastle a few years back. But you're still limited. Now we're able to help people in Australia. Somebody from Panama signed up yesterday. Panama.
Yeah, we've got South Africa, India, Hong Kong. Yeah. Canada's quite popular for us at the moment.
And the beauty of it is, obviously you can have a Zoom consultation if you want one of them. But if you're out with your dog and you're struggling, we ask them to get their phone out, film what's going on, so we can see what they're doing, what their dog's doing, and it's personal, and you get basically 24/7 support. Like anytime you're worrying, you've got somebody there to build you up, to help your confidence and things like that. So what it did was took Southend dog training almost to a global scale, if you will. Yes. And that's pretty much where it's heading now. I mean, it's not just training dogs in person. We're now taking on...
We want to help everyone. I mean, even on our app at the moment, which is on Google and on iPhone, we've got nearly 500 free videos on there for everyone to watch. You don't need to register, you don't need to do anything, just download the app completely free. You can watch them all. Obviously, if you want to see... I mean, it's quite funny. Adam once said to me recently, he was looking at hiring a... dietitian, so to speak, not a dietitian, but someone to basically do meal plans for him.
Yeah, because I'm terrible. My meal plans consist of literally eating garbage.
Eating anything that's in the freezer. So, but if you do want that structure, if you do want the full videos, if you do want all the categories laid out nicely, if you do want the support, that is what the online training group is for. You know, we're always willing to help people. We're willing to help everyone.
We actually have lots of dog trainers in there as well, learning, which is awesome. And what we want to do, I mean, we're taking a dog trainer on next month. I'm training 2 other people up right now. Yeah. One for in Scotland and one to run my classes. We want to keep expanding to add more dog trainers so we can help more people, because I'm booked up till January. And we're actually having people go elsewhere because they can't wait till January, and that doesn't sit right with me. So we're training up trainers that I trust that are going to be able to maintain the integrity of Southend dog training to do that, so we can help more people. We are getting member upon member each day sign up, so we are helping people all around the world. That's what I want to do. I want to be the dog trainer that can help people. It doesn't matter whether you're in the fucking Antarctica or whether you're in freaking Leon Sea, whether you're in Brazil or whether you're in freaking Canada, it doesn't matter where you are, we can help you, and we're doing that, and that's what we want. And basically we just want Southend dog training to be everywhere to help people.
Yeah, that is the goal.
But we're going to wrap this up, guys. Like I said, I mean, there's not really much to say. I started training dogs, got quite good at it, and here we are now. 300,000 followers worldwide.
Nearly 350 now.
Nearly 350. Wow, dude, you pay more attention to it than I do. Right.
I'm the numbers, man.
But little bits of advice for anybody wanting to get into dog training. Yeah. 1, be prepared to eat humble pie. I thought I knew everything when I first started. Boy, did I not. Yeah. Never be too proud to take constructive criticism. If you are a balanced dog trainer, which means you're open-minded to all tools and methodologies, don't be ignorant to the false free trainers or the purely positive trainers, yeah? Just because they don't teach the whole picture, still listen, because a lot of what they do in terms of teaching is very, very good, yeah? If you're against certain tools and methodologies, don't be ignorant to them. Learn about them. Learn about the good things, learn about the bad things. Apply what works, get rid of what doesn't work. I mean, I cringe when I see what I used to be like back when I first started to the way I am now. Yeah, I was very much more, right, you are going to listen, I'm the pack leader, all that nonsense. Now it's definitely all about relationship building. For me, the most important thing is the dog, yeah? It is making sure that that dog is comfortable. It's making sure that that relationship between the dog and human is on point, yeah? Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. You will get troll after troll attack you, but understand the people attacking you, they have nothing to back up what they're saying. Yeah. Film everything. Film everything. And work with other dog trainers. Collaborate with them. Shadow them. That's another thing that we want to start offering next year. The other next year we actually want to. We get people every day ask me about Shadow program. I want to start doing that. I want to start educating people, more and more people worldwide, to actually be able to do what I do to help others. Because inevitably that's why, whether you're a false free trainer, whether you're a balanced dog trainer, whether you're a dog whisperer, whether you're an aversive trainer, whether you're an army handler, a police dog handler, a freaking... we get into this industry to help dogs. So for me, any avenue I can exploit to teach, to help, to educate an owner or somebody to help educate somebody else, that's what we want to do. That's what Southend dog training is all about. We don't get involved with the politics. I've got a dog trainer right now sharing the crap out of my stuff, telling everyone why what I'm saying is complete bullshit. Yeah, I looked on his YouTube page and literally he has a dog and a muzzle that's nervous. He crouches down, the dog hits him in the face with a muzzle. Yeah, the dog trainer slagging me off doesn't understand why you never ever crouch down to a reactive dog. But people are messaging me going, are you going to reply to this? Are you going to do a video about it? No, I'm not.
Not worth our time.
No.
And
notice that I haven't even mentioned his name. Yeah? Because we're not about that. What we want to do is let our work do the talking. We want to educate as many people as we want. If you don't like what we say, that's fine. Yeah, that's you. That's fine. Yeah, we're not everyone's cup of tea. Somebody sent me a long-winded message yesterday because I swear a lot. Yeah, and apparently I'm rude. Yeah, but again, that person's never going to book my services. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the people that are invested in us, that want to learn, that want to listen, the people that follow us, they are what are important to me. You people listening right now, because you want to know about Southend dog training, you want to know more about me. The people that, when I posted a photo of Grace who fractured her elbow on Sunday, the people that commented on that, she got over 1,000 freaking interactions on her post, right? She was more popular than me, right? Because it shows that we have the best followers worldwide that care. Absolutely. These are the people I want to do. I don't want people coming over to my Facebook page. I don't want people coming over to my TikTok and the first thing they see, or the first way they get to know me, is by seeing me fucking slagging off some other dog trainer. That's what they do. The reason they have to slag me off is because they can't get business, so they want to slag me off to promote themselves, which is fair enough. But I want to help people. I want my supporters followers when they come over, to get help, to get information. I want them to be able to scroll video after video after video with nothing but useful information. Yeah, with the odd selfie of me or my daughter. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think that adds more of a personal touch. I did actually do a poll on Instagram asking people, look, would you like to see just dog training and stuff, or would you like to see more about what I do in my personal time? Yeah, would you like to see more of my family and things like that? And the majority, they did want to see that, because again, it's not just people coming over for free tips, they're coming over because they're investing in us. And that is the thing I'm most proud of. The thing I am most proud of since I've started this isn't the 300,000 followers or 350,000 followers. Yeah, it isn't all of the content we've produced. Yeah, it is literally the lives that we're changing, the community that we're building, the dogs that we're helping. That's what I'm most proud of. I get more excited when I see somebody send me a message how we've changed their life than I do when I upload a video that's going to basically educate thousands and thousands of people. Because that person, their life's been changed. This video going out has potential to change lots of lives, but that message that's come into me was personal, was raw, and that's
where it touches
me.
the heart. Yeah.
It is. So,
right
guys. On that note, some of you may have found this interesting, some of you may not. Is what it is. Yeah, like I said, everything. The beauty of everything, guys, is it's unscripted. We probably left loads of shit out. If you do have questions and you're watching this on YouTube, just comment them down below. I'll send Evan to answer them. Yeah. So yeah.
Nice.
But guys, next week we're going to have a guest on.
Yeah.
And of course, if you've got questions and things, we're going to start doing posts. So we'll say about the guest that we're having on. Yeah. Say her dog was human aggressive. Then we could go, right, if you've got any questions for our guest, then just submit them below. And then we can read out some of your questions and things like that. We was meant to do it for today, Evan. Someone,
not pointing any fingers, but yeah, for those that are watching,
yes,
definitely was me. So yes.
All right, guys. Cheers for tuning in and listening to us waffle on as always. You guys are awesome, and we'll talk to you all soon.
See you later.